Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage. Brené Brown. Hi and welcome back to the Extrology channel. Today I want to talk about a topic that is deeply personal to me and critical for the times we're living in. The power of vulnerability and how it's our greatest strength, not just as individuals, but as a society. We're at a moment in history where invulnerability is often equated with strength. Leaders across the globe project dominance and certainty, and it's easy to mistake that for power. But true strength isn't about dominance. It's about courage. The courage to admit when we're wrong. The courage to say, I don't have all the answers. The courage to show up and be human. As the world watches the inauguration of Donald Trump as the 47th president, we see another example of a strongman leader, someone who equates vulnerability with weakness. But history has shown us that leadership without vulnerability leads to division, stagnation, and often disaster. Let's take a step back and redefine vulnerability. It's not about exposing every flaw or mistake. It's about authenticity. It's about showing up as you are, imperfections and all, and connecting with others on a human level. In my podcast, Extrology, I've had the privilege of hearing stories from people who exemplify this courage. Guests like Mark Reeves, who opened up about his childhood trauma, or Colin, who shared his deeply personal battle with anorexia, have shown incredible strength in their willingness to share their stories. And I've seen firsthand how their vulnerability has inspired others to reflect, connect and grow. So why does vulnerability matter now more than ever? Because humanity thrives on connection. It's what drives innovation, resilience and trust. Without vulnerability, we're left with shallow relationships and transactional leadership. Without it, we prioritise power over progress, domination over dialogue and appearances over authenticity. Vulnerability isn't just about leadership on a global stage. It's about how we show up in our everyday lives, as parents, partners, colleagues, and friends. Vulnerability allows us to connect and build relationships based on trust, not fear. For me, the journey towards embracing vulnerability has been deeply personal. Sharing my MS diagnosis on Extrology was one of the hardest things I've ever done. For years, I was afraid of how people would perceive me. But when I finally opened up, I discovered something incredible. Vulnerability isn't a limitation, it's liberating. It's what connects us as human beings. I've seen the same courage in so many Extrology guests, and I've learned that the most transformative stories, the ones that truly touch lives, are the ones rooted in authenticity and openness. The question isn't whether we need vulnerability. The question is, how can we foster it? It starts small. Share something you've been holding back. Listen to someone else's story without judgment. Challenge the belief that strength comes from invulnerability and instead embrace the courage to be seen. As Brené Brown says, vulnerability is our greatest measure of courage. So let's lead with it. Let's live with it. And let's inspire others to do the same. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, please like, comment and share your thoughts below. Let's start a conversation about the true strength of vulnerability and how we can embrace it in our lives. Don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Let's make 2025 the year we redefine strength together.